Success on your fingertip. നിങ്ങൾ സൂര്യനെ പോലെ തിളങ്ങണമെങ്കിൽ ആദ്യം സൂര്യനെ പോലെ എരിയണം. Today we will discuss about current affairs 25th April 2020. First one, importance of 25th April. First one, World Malaria Day. Second one is International Delegates Day. World Malaria Day is an international event observed on 25th April every year. The day aims to spread awareness about malaria disease globally. The theme of World Malaria Day 2020 is Zero Malaria Starts With Me. The movement aims to drive action and making change using the resources available. History of Malaria. World Malaria Day was initiated from Africa Malaria Day, which was first held in 2008. The event Africa Malaria Day had been observed since 2001 by African government. In 2007, at the 16th session of World Health Assembly, the World Health Organization proposed the Africa Malaria Day be changed to the World Malaria Day. The day aimed to identify the existence of malaria in the countries worldwide and bring awareness among peoples globally to fight against malaria disease. What is malaria? Malaria is a mosquito-borne infectious disease. It is caused by the Plasmodium parasite. The parasites can be spread to humans through the bite of infected female Anopheles mosquitoes called malaria vectors. There are 5 types of Plasmodium causes malaria in humans, namely Plasmodium falciparum, Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium ovule, and Plasmodium malarias, and Plasmodium knowlesi. Malaria can be prevented and cured. Increased effort will dramatically reduce the malaria burden in many places. Next, International Delegates Day is observed on 25th April. The day aims to raise awareness of role of the representative and delegates of the member state to the United Nations. International Delegates Day marks the anniversary of the first day of San Francisco Conference, which also known as the United Nations Conference on International Organization. On 25th April 1945, delegates from 50 countries came together for the first time in San Francisco. The conference happened after the devastation of the Second World War. The delegates aimed to set up an organization that would restore peace and impose rule on the post-war world order. On 26 June 1945, the Charter of the United Nations was signed by representatives of the 50 countries that attended the conference. The agreement resulted in the creation of United Nations. The United Nations comprised 193 member states and serve the main international venue of collective dialogues between the delegates of its member state. On 2nd April 2019, the United Nations General Assembly proclaimed 25th April as International Delegates Day. Next, eGram Swaraj. eGram Swaraj portal and application on 24 April 2020 at the occasion of National Panchayati Raj Day on the official web portal egramseva.gov.in through a video conference with the Panchayati Sarpanch. The portal is simplified work-based accounting application from Panchayati Raj. It functions under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. eGram Swaraj eGram Swaraj will monitor the event organization for the rural areas. Candidates check the eSwaraj portal link www.egramswaraj.gov.in. The portal aims to strengthen e-governance in Panchayati Raj institutions across the country. eGram Swaraj aims to bring better transparency in the decentralized planning, progress reporting and tax-based accounting. This initiative is a part of Digital India program in the country and seeks to promote e-governance of Panchayati in village. The village will be able to work and government and digitally through bring digital literacy to the village. The eGram Swaraj website lists down the latest updates such as the 65,967 numbers of the profile created, 2,44,447 approved Gram Panchayat developed plans, 87,434 physical progress completed, 2,65,311 financial progress on branding, and lakh 2,968 geo-tagging initiated. Recently, news in Iran launched its first military satellite called Noor into orbit. This launch has raised tension with the US at the time. The two countries are already facing off in the Persian Gulf. The exam point of view, in our studies, what is Noor? Noor. The satellite took off on top of the relatively unknown rocket called Geist or Messenger from Iran's central desert and reached an altitude of 425 km above the Earth. The Noor satellite was launched by the three-stage rockets that was powered by the combination of solid and liquid fuel. The US has accused Iran of violating the 2015 UN Security Council resolution. As per the resolution, Iran cannot undertake any activities relating to the ballistic missile designed to be capable of delivering nuclear weapon, including launches using such ballistic missile technology. Next, recently news in astronomers found 19 asteroids that once belonged to the distant star system has been found orbiting the Sun between Jupiter and Neptune. The asteroids have been circling the Sun for more than 4.5 billion years since the very inception of the solar system. This is the news. In our exam point of view, the very important is 19 asteroids. What is 19 asteroids? 19 asteroids. The 19 asteroids from the Centaur family orbit the Sun on the plan that was perpendicular to the planetary motion 4.5 billion years ago. The finding 2 years after astronomers spotted the first interstellar vehicle, the asteroid known as Oumuamua. The asteroids belong to a group of objects called Centaurs. The Centaur family of asteroids roam the space between the two gas giants. Even the computer model can predict where they will be headed next. The origin of Centaur's name a mystery to astronomers since the first member of group called Cryon was recognized in 1977. Next is asteroids. An asteroid is a large chunk of rock left over from the collision or the early solar system. Most of the asteroids are located between Mars and Jupiter in the main belt. Next, recently news in the 15th Financial Commission had online meeting with the Advisory Council on 23rd 24 April 2020. The meeting was chaired by N.K. Singh, Chairman of 15th Financial Commission of India, and was attended by all members and senior officials of the Commission. What is the importance of exam point of view? What is the meeting highlights? The members of the Advisory Council discussed the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic and the national lockdown on the Indian economy. The officials discussed the impact of pandemic on financial institutions and business enterprises and the loss of global demand for Indian product because of steep global recession. Discussion on measures to restore the supplies of intermediate and the cash flow and the demand for output. Small scale enterprises were cash strapped even prior to the onset of COVID-19. The Council devised a support mechanism to help the activity level and cash flow to overcome the economic issues caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Currently, the activity level and cash flow are affected. It is important that a support mechanism is devised to help them overcome this problem. The help non-banking financial companies which are also affected by the slowdown. The Commercial planned to deepen the NPS in the financial sector and introduce measures to guarantee help. The Council planned to seek Reserve Bank of India's help to ensure that financial institutions are well capitalized. The finances of the central and state government will be given adequate provision to largely help government to manage cash flow mismatch. The aim to ensure that the state government gets access to adequate fund to undertake their fight against the pandemic. The Council decided to support the revival of activities in the different states, which will be at a varied pace. Next, recently news in Sanjay Kothari took oath as Chief Vigilance Commissioner. The oath officer was administered by President Ramnath Kovind on 25th April 2020 at the Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, and others were also present at the ceremony. Social distancing was also ensured. Their chairs were kept apart. This is a news. Importance for Sanjay Kothari took oath as Chief Vigilance Commission on 25th April 2020. Next is important for Central Vigilance Commission. The Central Vigilance Commission was established in February 1964. The anti-corruption watchdog is headquarters in New Delhi. The autonomous body is free of control from any executive authority. It is responsible for monitoring all vigilance activities in the central government. It will also advise various authorities is planning, executing, reviewing and reforming their vigilance work. Next, recently in news, despite the strain on government finance due to the COVID-19 pandemic, there is no credible proposal to amend the legislation meant to control the fiscal deficit. Chairman on the 15th Financial Commission said. Speaking to press persons after the two-day meeting of the Commission, Economic Advisory Council said that government was currently looking to see how to ameliorate economic hardship while staying with the broad framework of the existing law. This is a news. Important for our point of view. First is background. Next, need for new law. Next is what is fiscal deficit. First one, background. While presenting the Union budget in February 2020, the Finance Minister had evoked the fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act escape clause to relax the fiscal deficit target for 2020-21 by 0.5 percentage to 3.5 percentage of the GDP. In the government wishes the increase spending further in the light of current crisis, as many economists have recommended it may need to amend the act. The state government has been demanding that their on 3% fiscal deficit target be relaxed to 4% or even 5% to give them elbow room in the dealing with the impact of the lockdown. Need for new law. Economic Advisory Council members felt that option need to be considered for financing an additional deficit. It is important to ensure that the state government gets access to adequate funds to undertake their fight against the pandemic. They said, adding that different states may come out of pandemic impact in different stages. The council members all felt that earlier projection of real GDP growth will need to be revised downwards considerably. Nothing that the lockdown's impact on public finances will be significant, with a large shortfall in the tax or the other revenues. The council recommended a nourished fiscal response with a focus not just on the size but the design of any stimulus package. A support mechanism for cash-starved small enterprises need to be top priority, along with the partial loan guarantee and other measures to protect non-banking financial companies. Next, what is fiscal deficit? It is a difference between the revenue receipt plus non-debit capital receipt and the total expenditure. In other words, fiscal deficit is a reflective of the total borrowing requirement of the government. Next, what is the significance of fiscal deficit? In the economy, there is a limited pool of invisible saving. These savings are used by financial institutions like banks to lend to private businesses and the governments. In the fiscal deficit ratio is too high, it implies that there is a lesser amount of money left in the market for private entrepreneurs and business to borrow. Lesser amount of this money, in turn, led to higher rate of interest charged on such lending. So, simply put, a higher fiscal deficit means higher borrowing by the government, which in turn means higher interest rate in the economy. A high fiscal deficit and higher interest rate would also mean the effort of the Reserve Bank of India to reduce interest rate are undergone. Next, recently in news, amid the countrywide lockdown, the National Board for Wildlife has recommended coal mining in the part of the elephant reserve in Assam. The NBWL Standing Committee had on April 7 discussed a proposal for use of 98.59 hectares of land from the Selki proposed reserve forest land for the coal mining project by Northeastern Coalfield in a unit called India Limited. This is the news. In our exam point of view, three important topic is very important. First one is panel recommendation. Second one is National Board for Wildlife. Third one is Demoli. Panel recommendation: 57.20 hectares of hilly forest land had already been broken up by the user agencies, and the remaining for 41.39 hectares was unbroken. Panel recommended a cautious approach for preserving the basic integrity of this forest hilltop that is a part of the elephant reserve in Assam adjoining Arunachal Pradesh. Demoli Elephant Reserve, which a sizable population of elephant. Panel recommended for approval the proposal for mining in the broken up area after the user agency submit the rectified site-specific mine reclamation plan in the consultation with the Assam Forest Department. What is next is National Board of Not for Wildlife. National Board Wildlife was constituted under the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Hence, NBWL is a statutory body. NBWL has 47 members with the Prime Minister as a chairman. NBWL is an advisory in the nature and advise the central government on forming policies and measures for conservation of wildlife in the country. Primary function of the board is to promote the conservation and development of wildlife and forest. It serves as apex body to review all wildlife related matters and approve projects in and around national park and sanctuaries. It has power to review all wildlife related matters and approve projects in and around national park and sanctuaries. All the change or alternation of boundaries in a national park and wildlife sanctuaries require NBWL's approval. That is Dimoli. Dimoli is a census town in Tirap district in the state of Arunachal Pradesh. Nagtru as a principal tribe in the Dimoli and the nearby village, some small population of Vancho, Tusta, Adi, Nisi, Ghalo, Assami, Bengali and Bihari are also found here. Next is Dihan Patki Wildlife Sanctuary. Dihan Patkai Wildlife Sanctuary is located in the Dibruhak and Tinsuki district of Assam. It is part of Assam Valley Tropical West Evergreen Forest and consists of three parts: Jaipur, Upper Dihing River and Dirok Rainforest. It was declared a sanctuary on 13th June 2004. This sanctuary is also part of Dihing Pakhi Elephant Reserve. A part of forest was declared as a wildlife sanctuary by the government of Assam, while another part of fall in the Dibru-Dimoli Elephant Reserve. The forest further spread over the Tirap and Changlong district of Arunachal Pradesh. The Dihin Patkai form the largest stretch of tropical lowland rainforest in India. The forest is often referred to as the Amazon of the East, owing to its large area and thick forest. Thank you. Think before you speak, read before you think. Prepared by Jay Kotanas, Aeon Study Circle. If you join our study group, all social media, Facebook, Aeon Study Circle, WhatsApp 9846024053, Telegram, Aeon Study Circle, YouTube channel, Aeon Study Circle. Thank you.